Ons is nou besig om klaar te maak vir die cake en die gedagte kon na my toe. Because kyk, is maklik vir ons om na die Here toe te kyk elke dag vir ons daily bread, right? Dit is wat ons moet doen. And you know what I realized, that the whole daily bread thing, it comes from the time where God sent manna from heaven to the Israelites while they were in the desert. And they had to look up to God every day for fresh bread. Ze kon nie gister se brood eet die next dag eet. Ze moet elke dag, and God indeed provided every day for them. Right? However, the desert was not their destination. The desert was only a in-between state while they were on their way to the promised land. And if you know, when they reached Canaan and entered Canaan, the daily bread thing was finished. Because Canaan was the land of milk and honey. There was more than enough in Canaan. So what we need to do, and this is where it ties in, my wife and I, the owner, was talking about how people put themselves in cycles, man. Cycles of debt, cycles of bad behavior. And every time God comes out and He helps you. And although that is fantastic, because He indeed is Jehovah Jireh, our provider, if our bad decisions, especially financial decisions, is putting us back into the same debt that God just got you out of, then you need to make a change. Because it is not for us to stay in the desert and wait for, okay, ek was nou in die skuld, Here, help my die skuld te kom. Dan help die Here vir jou met die skuld te kom. En dan 2 maande later, dan gaan maak jy weer skuld op hy selfe account. Dat jy nou 2 jaar gesukkel het om jou uit te kry. Sy 2 maande gelede het sy gepad en vir die Here dankie gesê. Thanks for getting me out of this situation. And then you put yourself back into that situation, which means you in that daily bread cycle. Your destination is not the desert. Your destination is the promised land. And that is what we need to strive towards. Because I think in order for us to move into the space of plenty, the space of milk and honey, we also need to change our behaviors. And we need to start trusting God for new things. And it starts with us preparing ourselves for what's coming. Understand, eh? You cannot ask God for R1 million if you have not trained yourself to work with the R100 you have today. Because once you receive that million, it's going to be useless. En once het op is, dan gaan jy nou weer moet sit en vir die Here vra. Ek soek nou nog 1 million. Ek het nou my lesson geleer, ek soek nou nog 1 million. And that's what a lot of us find ourselves in. Is that situation where, die Here het my teëgekom, die Here het my teëgekom, maar jy leer net nooit jou lessons nie. So jy's constantly besig om te wag weer vir manna om uit die hemel te vang. Meanwhile, the goal is to get you through the desert so that you can go into Canaan. Let me know what your thoughts is, because I think that we need to bring our part as well. Because the blessings that is waiting for us is bigger than the ones that we have now. And we need to prepare for that. Because the word does say, maak jou skure groter. The word speaks about preparing for the blessings that is coming. And sometimes the preparation that we need to do is actually to learn the skills to work with money, the responsibility to look after the things that is coming. Het baat nie, jy kry 'n groot huis van die Here, en jy kan nie die huis skoon hou nie. Het baat nie, die Here gee vir jou 'n Ferrari, en jy weet nie hoe om car maintenance te doen nie. Jy moet hy goed is, moet jy leer. In the meantime, and I really think that the ones that was going through the desert was learning the skills that they needed to know for when they enter Canaan. And that is why many that was in the desert didn't make it into Canaan. But the ones that did were prepared for Canaan. And I think that's what we need to take away from this message. is start preparing yourself for the blessings that is coming. And when I say prepare, I don't mean jou wag moet en jy moet nou begin vir jou nou al kwaai when fykitel jou maikity. I'm talking about you want to become a manager, you want to become a boss, you want to become an entrepreneur, you want a house, you want a car. Start preparing mentally for those things. Because die Here gaan nie vir jou 'n manager maak en dan moet jy leer om 'n manager te wees. Because dan raak sy daai manager wat die mense van praat en sê, "Ag, die ou is in die posisie nie, ou weet nie wat hy doen nie." If you're preparing for marriage, then you need to start being faithful today. If you want to be a good father, you need to start today. You can't wait until you become a daddy and then try to become a good father. So on the Sunday, think about that. Make the ground ready for the seeds that is coming.